gonna go live, but
Oh boy.
hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of a Talking Dead Guy, which I'm not allowed to say anymore. So I'm gonna have to edit that out because I already screwed up, and I have my phone turned up really loud too. So 2 for 2. There we go. Anyway, today is special because I am talking with Callan, who is the owner and I'm assuming lead editor would be the proper term. And voice actor for the Walking Dead comic dub series that's on his channel, Psycho Cat Studios. I'd say, Callan, how long, man? We've known each other for 6 months, maybe a little more.
Would it be nearly a year? I'd say.
Would it be? It could be.
Could be.
I feel like we've come a long way. It doesn't feel like it's been that long. Just reaching out and bullshitting over comments to now, we're on Discord, DMing, working on projects together. I think that's something I'm very proud of, to be honest. So tell us a little bit about yourself, and we'll go across the room. And
perfect. Well, you already did my introduction with owner of Psychocast Studios and stuff. Just young Irish fellow who likes to entertain people, and with these comic dubs, I'm doing some good job at it anyway. I hope so.
Absolutely.
Some.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm not really good at introductions, to be honest.
Dude, I kind of took it. I didn't think about that.
It's all good, don't worry.
But there's some people who aren't familiar with 2 Cents at all, at least from my side of it. And he's only had a tiny role so far that's been out. So tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us the connection that you have and, who you're playing.
Oh, you're asking me finally. I'm sorry. Sorry. Yeah, my name is 2 Cents. I am an aspiring voice actor, and about a year ago, I had found a great interest in the Walking Dead comic books because I really wanted to start reading them. But I was surfing YouTube, and I came across Psycho Cat Studios, and I saw this I just grew so invested. I kid you not. I watched every single current volume over the span of 4 hours. I watched every single one. And I was super invested. I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. The comic books are incredible. Why didn't anybody ever tell me that the comic books can be shown this way? And Callan, you just did an outstanding job with the cast that he put together, the way he edited the videos. Seriously, no, it's some of the best stuff I've ever seen. I'm like, damn, you should be paid for this stuff, bro. Seriously.
To be fair.
Yeah, no, and so I was really excited about the project because I saw that there was a casting call for it on a casting call club. And so I was like, oh wow, oh my goodness. So I see the character that I really want to play is Father Gabriel, the character that I now voice. And I was so invested in the audition. So I gave it my best shot. Didn't expect anything to come out of it because I am that insecure. And next thing I know, I'm getting a message the day after, and it was sick. Felt like a miracle, and here I am. And so I started working for Callan, and I did a lot of voice work for Father Gabriel. I'm still doing some voice work for him now. I've always loved the character, so being able to play him was such an honor. And were it not for Callan, I wouldn't know you. So, hey, this is crazy. It's awesome.
Hey, fair enough. I didn't even think about that. There's been so many people that's come in. There's so many new people that's come in. I can't remember where they're coming from half the time, and I feel really bad about it. I'm like, hey, welcome. Oh God, what did I say? What did I promise you? Stacy, we did talk a little bit backstage. Why don't we share that with the audience? Who are you playing, and establish some connections here for us.
Okay, I play Andrea for Callan, and I originally started with Walking Bread many years ago. We were going strong, then they took their hiatus, their break, and Callan reached out and said, I want to do The Walking Dead. Will you play Andrea for me? And I said, sure, because I'm like, well, I already do Andrea. So we started working together, and then Walking Bread started up again. So now I'm doing both of them, which is really fun. I have not read all the comics. I know, don't come for me. But I like reading them as I go. I enjoy reading them as I go to learn what's happening next. So I have no idea what's happening ahead in Walking Red for those ones, because I just read them as I record. But obviously for what I'm reading for Callan, because it's a little behind, I know what's happening. So
yeah,
exactly. There's definitely parts I'm really looking forward to, and I'm curious to see what I do differently, if I do anything differently. So there's some parts I'm really looking forward to coming up.
That is a question that I have. For the Walking Bread versus Psycho Cat Studios, do you do Andrea for a different approach for each channel, or you just sort of get in character and repeat the process and kind of share between the both?
I stick pretty much to the same character, because there's been people who watch Callan's channel, Psycho Cats, and they go, "Oh, I know Andrea, she's from Walking Bread." So the character somewhat is similar, but I know, like, when I first started with Alex, with Walking Bread, I was recording on my phone and I didn't have a mic. Not that I have a super fancy setup now, but I have a better mic, and so it's probably slightly better quality, and I'm more comfortable with doing it that way than I was when I first started. It was pretty. I wasn't a trained voice actor. I was a trained stage actor, and I perform on stage and do plays and musicals and all kinds of things. So this was completely different for me. So it took some, getting used to. But I'm having fun. It's fun. I enjoy it.
And I think Callan's good at pulling.
I don't know how you guys do what you do. It amazes me.
Callan's good at pulling acting from people, I've noticed.
Absolutely. Very good direction.
100%.
Because I have a different style. I've been doing this for a long time. I maybe 3 years max. 3 years max. But I mean, I had an advantage. I've done music and all this shit in the past. I know how to use all this stuff. So I feel like when I got into the audio comic scene, I was ahead of other guys when they just started. So I was able to put stuff out quickly, but I wasn't acting. I was kind of approaching from that audiobook ASMR approach. Like, do I really want to be screaming in the middle of a 20-minute video and scaring the shit out of people when they're trying to sleep? And I just kind of had a whole different approach to it. And then people just started leaving comments like, dude, this is like so boring. And I'm like, wait a minute. All right. So then I took a different approach, but it's like, I don't want the sound effects to overdo the actors and all that. So I kind of separate everything. And with Callan, I got so used to that style. And with Callan, he's like, hey, listen, look what's going on in the panel. Like, if they're pulling open a gate, make a grunt noise or something, kind of an example. So I went back and redid them, and literally was running in place, like I was trying to get myself out of breath to get that line and yada yada. And I ended up like carrying that over, Callan. Like, that is now everything I do. I'm now reading the lines on the bus 2 days before I sit down to record them. I get into character, I practice, and then I hit myself a couple of times so I can get beat up for the role. Like, okay. You just kind of, I don't know, you did that. You inspired me with your editing and all that. You inspired me to do better. I was just scrolling pages across and just reading shit, dude. That's all I was doing. And then you're like, you've got all this like animation to it. And I'm like, well, I could do that. So you just inspired me to do better. Alex, welcome.
Hi. It's nice to meet you.
Good to see you. We did the introduction. It's your turn. Tell us a little bit about yourself and the connections, and fill us in.
Okay then. Well, my name is Alex Haynes. I'm from Western Pennsylvania, literally like a couple hours away from where they filmed all the Romero zombie movies. So
nice.
Oh man. And
awesome.
Oh yeah, I know. Like, I'm actually planning a trip to the Dawn of the Dead Mall very soon. About a couple of weeks from now. It'll be my first time seeing it, and I'm so excited for it. Oh man. So, I was a big fan of The Walking Dead when it was on the show. I watched it right up to when they killed Carl. Oh crap! Spoilers.
Yeah.
I mean, I was kind of starting to feel it before. I was kind of doing intervals, and when season 8 hit, I kind of laid off it, and I figured I'd just get back into it to finish it. And then Carl dies, and I'm just like, why am I watching this anymore? I know. After that, man. But I did love the show, and about around when I was going to college, the last couple of years of college, I found The Walking Bread, and I just binged the show for so long. Yeah, Andrew. Stacey, oh man. It was just a really fun way to experience the comic because I always wanted to know what was different from the TV show and the comic, and I actually stopped at one point with the hope that if I waited long enough, they would continue the series, not knowing it would be 4 years before they would continue it. And then when they announced that they were coming back and recording some stuff and doing some more recording along the lines of it, and I was just so excited to see it. I started rewatching the show again, rewatching the series again, and then I auditioned for Dwight because it was actually something I was thinking about when I was watching it the first time. Was wouldn't it be cool to be one of the actors on here? And when they announced they were coming back, I went and auditioned for Dwight. I got Dwight, and I decided I was just going to start from the beginning, and I think it was just. I did enjoy watching it, but I also kind of went and found a couple of other dubs, and that was where I found Psycho Cat. That's where I found Psycho Cat. Like, I just watched that first volume, and that was just one of the most cinematic experiences with The Walking Dead I've ever seen, man. Like, seriously.
Thanks very much.
Oh, I know. Like, seriously. Like, it's just like, I really felt like I was watching a movie when I was watching your version, man. It just, and the guy playing your Rick, like Kai. Oh my God. Like, honestly.
I call him season 1 Rick, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there was a different VA for Rick for your first few volumes, I remember, or at least for volume 1. Because the guy that I remember the first time I found you, Callan, the guy who was playing Rick sounded like the guy from the show. It sounded like Lincoln. And then now you've got Kai.
Oh, are you on about David?
Yeah, I remember that, man. That's
he only did the 10th anniversary special.
Okay.
Not to say, because I actually watched the first volume and it was Kai. I was just like,
oh yeah,
not another guy.
That was my first time watching Callan. Was that video? That's what popped up in my suggestions. And I had just put the first volume out myself. I do comic dubs, so I had just put it out. Dude, I'm a dead guy. Fucking duh. You know, like do The Walking Dead. Zombies is my whole spiel, and I did it and. That's when I noticed him. That's when it popped up because I was reviewing my own video. You know, I was going over it, watching it on a premiere, and I looked down in the suggestions, and I'm like, motherfucker, somebody else did this. So then I clicked on it, and then like 5 minutes into it, I'm like, motherfucker, somebody else did this. And I immediately was like, I ain't doing any more of my shit. Fuck this. I'm just gonna watch his channel. So I immediately subbed and just started leaving comments like, dude, fuck, this is really good, man. Like, I'm not going to touch this. I don't need to. I can't improve. You know what I mean? I can't do anything different or better. This is exactly the way it should be done. So
I know. I was literally how I was thinking when I heard it. I was just like honestly, it's the best possible version to hear the story, the comic story. I just was like, it just truly.
Thank you, Alex. I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't be able to make it without all of you, you know. I mean, there's my editing, but also your acting, and you know, all of us working together. That's what makes it, like, you know. So, you know, pat yourselves on the back, like, because you know, without you, I don't know what would I do, like, Jesus.
It'd be like my early comics, man, where I'm reading everybody, and then you're getting people in the comments like, "You could listen." I got one of the best backhanded comments ever. Compliments that they were like, "Man, you got all these people, and you can't even get a girl to read the girl lines." Look, I was the only one doing it. I was the only one in that comic, so I immediately was like, "Well, thanks, because it's just me, you jackass." Second of all, I was like, all those people, it was just me, you dipshit.
Walking Bread.
I just
That's where I got started with Walking Bread.
When you buy an audiobook, how many readers do you get? And you bought that shit.
That's why I got started with Walking Bread.
Everybody in the book, and they're not doing sounds or anything. They're just reading the book to you. And then they're softening their voice for a girl. That's all you're getting. You know what I'm saying? Like, for money. And you're getting this shit for free, and you drop a comment like that. Thank you. I love constructive criticism. Move on. Let's move on.
You were saying, Stacey, about Walking Bread and the beginning of it, is that?
That's why I got started with Walking Bread. Yep. I saw their videos, and it was just the two of them. And I don't even know how I tracked them down. I don't know how. Somehow I found them, and I said, "Hey, I watched your videos. They're good. Do you want a woman? Just say it. I'm offering."
Yeah.
They were like, "Well, that's a really good idea." I said, "Okay."
And I remember you voicing like the majority of the female roles in the series. Like, I mean, I remember you did Andrea anyway. You did Alice.
Yeah.
Did you do Laurie?
I did the kids. The little kids.
Oh yeah, Ben and Billy. I remember that.
It's been so long since I watched that version.
Before they, before the little brother killed his brother. So I did the kids. I did Rick's wife too.
Yeah, Laurie.
Yeah.
All right, I'm grabbing their.
A lot of work to do. By God.
I'm going to throw their link in.
Basically, main character status.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a link to the Walking Bread in the chat, guys. If you guys are interested in checking that out too. I noticed the differences. There's just a different flavor approach to your guys's. Callan takes it extremely seriously. Especially with the new music, dude. Shit.
Oh, Stuart is cooking. He's absolutely cooking, right?
I was like, holy shit, the music just is really setting it off. Like that, I'm a music nerd, so I pay attention to dumb shit like that. Like I immediately went, that's a new track. That's new. Okay.
The music is so good.
It really brings everything together.
We got exactly for the group.
Oh, Adam.
Are you all going to work on a project together? And Stacey, what's a bigger challenge, voice acting or stage acting? Let us start with Stacey.
Oh, that is a wonderful question.
I would have to say voice acting for me personally, because stage acting, you get to feed off the audience, you get to feed off the other people that are on stage with you, and there's always different things that happen that add into the energy. So voice acting, you have to bring that all yourself. So,
okay,
yeah,
but it's a good challenge. I like the challenge.
You're damn good at it too.
Yeah,
the voice acting.
You really are. You really are.
Yeah, we'll cover more of that later because kind of a poop incident happened. Now, as far as are we all going to work on a project together? That's a tough one. I know we got some things, some whispers, some rumors that are going around backstage, but I'm not sure we're ready to mention anything about that publicly.
Yeah.
Are we? I don't think we're ready.
Well, to be honest, I don't mind either way. I know for a fact the two of us will do it. It's just a matter of when. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I know we're gonna work on the 28 Days Later. London's Calling.
Yeah.
Graphic novel, and I wouldn't mind doing the second one either. But this is just future projects. We're not trying to put a time limit because he understands we're just as busy as each other. And there's, it comes in waves. Right now, I got a bunch of stuff coming in and getting a bunch of stuff done, so I can't really touch it right now. But we're at least out there talking to cast and getting ideas for who we want to be who and yada yada yada. But so far that's it. Yes.
Yep.
Stacey's already done some work with me and will continue to. Two Cents has done some really good work for me and will continue to. And yes, I think me and Alex got a project we're talking about. It'll be my last hurrah to Dead Guy gets to do what he wants to do and has to do what his fans want to do. So he'll be on my last project with me, I think. So other than that, I think we're all still working on intermingling with cast and production and yada yada. Good question, man. That was a really good question.
Go on, Adam. Fair play.
Oh shit, we got random black guy saying I would Morgan is better in the show than in the comics. Oh, he thinks Morgan's better in the show than in the comics. I do have to agree that his character was fleshed out more. And Lenny James is a hell of an actor.
Oh, brilliant.
Just that
big shit on his character. He went from crazy to normal to crazy to normal to crazy. Like, look, there's only so much crazy you can go before you don't come back anymore. And he was just kind of on and off with the clear. I gotta clear. He was on and off with clearing. And that wasn't his fault. That's the writer's fault,
Walking David, whatchamacallit, he did a full-on video. It was mainly about Negan, with his going back and forth on, is he the bad guy or is he the good guy or whatever. But he mentioned Morgan, that Morgan is getting an awful doing when it comes to the writing side of it. Going from clear to fucking, all life is precious, that sort of thing. Like, just back and forward. Like, when he has a pistol, he's killing everybody, but when he has a stick, he's all peaceful. But now the stick is an axe for some reason.
I won't lie. Fear the Walking Dead, I think Fear the Walking Dead it's a good place to have his character, but again, there's that whole fluctuating thing that occurs, and you kind of gotta I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess I kind of prefer Morgan in The Walking Dead more than I prefer in Fear the Walking Dead, just because I think in this particular state that Morgan is in, he's kind of gone through everything that he can possibly go through, and his mind kind of has to fluctuate because he doesn't know what the right or wrong things are to do. So it's kind of his journey and everything, but then kind of Fear the Walking Dead, in my opinion, undoes some of that. And I don't know. I loved seeing him. I loved seeing him in Fear the Walking Dead, though, personally.
We got more people popping in. I'm sorry I didn't see you down there.
Yeah, speak of me, unfortunately. Hello, everyone. Hi. Hey. I was chilling in the backstage. I wasn't even focusing. I'm sorry.
I only see one bar at a time, and I scrolled down. I was like, "Oh my god, somebody's down there waiting." I'm so sorry.
That's fair. It's okay. I get
it. You really do sound like Michonne, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Really. Honestly, I got really nervous about that because I obviously watched like The Walking Dead when I was still watching it, of course, and I got into the comics not too long after it kind of aired. I didn't know. I was like, I'll try my hand at this. Let's see if it works.
Yeah, and by God, issue 33 alone is just, Jesus, I'm scared. Like, whenever I hear Michonne, like, it's like, by God. Oh, Cameron would be, shitting his brick anyway. Fucking what?
There was a lot to because I didn't get too far into the comics until I started, until we started working together. And I was like, whoa, Michonne, she's more of a badass than I thought, and she has a lot of issues.
Exactly.
I did not know about the split personality aspect. That was cool.
It's real. To me, it's visceral. Like, you don't go through something like that and come out normal. No matter what, that trauma is going to hit you somehow. And I like how they did that in the comics with Michonne. They didn't touch it in the show, really. You know, she had that dark side to her. She had the Morgan side, you know, the clear side, but
Yeah.
she didn't have that other Michonne she was talking to. You get what I mean? Like, and I really like how they did that. And yeah, nailing the character is an understatement. Like, she's owning the character. Because I remember this. I remember coming to asking you immediately after the first time I saw her on one of your videos. I was like, is she available for voice acting? Because she's really fucking good, dude. Like, I could use somebody like that. And you're like, I'll ask. But you know, everybody's kind of busy and does their own thing. You know, it's kind of, you know, you don't want to jump into somebody's server right away and be like, hey, who wants to come over and work with me?
Yeah.
Screw Callan. It's not important. It's not important. This is really fun, guys. Like, it's kind of a pleasure. I'm reading for Aaron. I don't know if anybody can see the tiny print down there, but I'm Aaron. So I know a lot of our characters are going to interact, especially Gabriel. I know me and 2 Cents have had that. I'm like, I can't wait for that conversation.
Oh, I'm so excited.
It's going to be pretty cool. I'm kind of excited to see how it pans out, Callan. So let me ask you what you get all the time. How far are you away from, say, Aaron's first appearance? Like, not video release time. I mean,
you see, that is actually difficult to to, you know, estimate time frame. You know, because like we you know, we're not doing it all in one go. Like, you know, we're doing just a volume at a time, and, you know, working off everyone's schedules, and by God, trying to lock in while editing is fucking difficult. But whatchamacallit, I'd say, I hope maybe by the end of the year, I'd say, when Aaron first appears. I hope now, if everything goes well, if nothing happens, you know, I'd say maybe the end of the year we'll hear you as Aaron, and I'm really looking forward to that. I mean, like, just Alexandria alone, with all the characters coming in. I mean, Father Gabriel comes in just beforehand, and then you have the Hunters, and then Aaron, Eric, Douglas, Pete. Oh, that fight is going to be fucking.
Do you have somebody casted for Eric yet?
I don't. I have 2 people in mind. It's just whatchamacallit, I haven't had the time to, you know, send out a few roles to people and stuff, because I would have to set shit up beforehand. Okay. But yeah, I have 2 people in mind anyway, and I'll throw the role at them and check how it works. You know.
Troll the roll at them. All right.
Yeah. Hey, take it.
Well, let me know, because I'm awfully curious to reach out to them and see if we can't get some kind of dynamic. Since we're going to be reading off of each other, I think it'd be better to know who each other are before we sit down and do our lines, and know how we're going to read those lines, so we can make at least match up for you on the other side, instead of it sounds like we're trying to. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think that might be an interesting approach with that.
I'm surprised but delighted with how kind of like everyone's performances are together. You know, like what I said before with Stacey and Robert in Volume 7, their chemistry is just perfect, you know, and they're not even talking to each other, you know, when they're recording, like, but everyone else is the same, really. I mean, like, Kylan and Renee as Rick and Laurie, you know, I mean, like, when you hear the 2 of them together, it's like that's a married couple there, like, you know, it's perfect, absolutely perfect.
Now, question to the voice actors in the crowd, and we'll start and work our way around. When you guys are doing your voice acting and you're doing your reading, do you read the other person's lines too, and like say them to yourself in your head as the other actor to feed off of that, or do you just go right to the line and try several takes until you feel like you got one you like? What's your approach?
I'll answer.
Oh, who's
first.
saying that?
Okay then. So, well, what I actually absolutely like I do a line. Well, I memorize the line. I take about maybe a half an hour to memorize the line. I do 3 takes of it, and then I immediately read the next person's line before I start recording my line, just to get into the mood of the scene, essentially. Just to kind of know what is being told, what the response or a question being asked to me can be, so that I can read the line the best way I can read it, essentially, just to make sure that it all clicks together when you go and edit it later. So,
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
about
I
the
like
rest
to-
of you guys? Yeah.
Yeah, I like to think of it kind of like the moment before. So, by the way, I did acting in college, so I kind of take a lot of that into my performance here. But yeah, I think of it as the moment before, and it's kind of the way you work monologues, where you think about, what situation the character is in, what was just told to them to make them respond the way that they did, and then kind of move forward, but kind of in shorter bursts, since it's line by line, and I'm not really feeding off of anyone. And I specifically, when I think of Michonne, I think of again these 2 combative things happening in her. There is kind of a persona she gives off that she's cool, collected in front of people, but then when she's not in front of people, if she lets it slip, there's kind of that, again, that split personality, that trauma that she has experienced, and letting slip. And so I kind of use those 2 dichotomies and then work my way into that scene when I do the lines. And I usually do 3 takes and then see what works.
Yeah.
Or I let Callan pick which one's the best.
See, that is a complete different approach than Alex takes. That's a complete. Yeah. She's just like, I don't really do that much prep. Her style is she can get into the zone almost immediately, which that's impressive. I'm a bad actor, so I got to take days to get ready for the role. Prep myself, if it's a bad role, I got to beat myself up and torture myself. Oh. What about you, Stacy? What kind of prep methods do you do, or do you read the other person's lines as a voice in your head and then respond as Andrea? How do you do it?
Yeah, I definitely read the other person's lines and what's happened before. Read the other person's lines, do my best to get into it. I'm pretty similar. I will do the line, and then if I don't think it was, Colin can attest to this. I'm swearing, I'm laughing, I think he's not sensitive because I'm cursing like a truck driver or a drunk sailor and telling him stories, all stuff he doesn't need in this recording. And I'll say, if I don't think I quite got it, I'll give 2 or 3 different versions. But I am definitely reading the other person's line just in my head as a way to react off of.
Yeah.
What about you 2 cents? I'm curious.
I'm kind of because I'm such a comic reader, so sometimes I might run through the entire story, so I have a really good idea of playing back the events in my head. When I initially started doing this, I would go in and look at the lines of individual characters, and I would read them back to myself, and I would think, how would I deliver this? How would I say this? If I was in this particular mood. Sometimes I'd look at the facial expressions. How am I gauging their expressions? What are their emotions? What's going through their minds? And sometimes I feel like I have to go back and read what's leading up to all of these events, so that I'm like, okay, what mood is Rick in? What mood is Andrea in? What mood is Michonne in? What mood are all of these characters that I'm communicating in? Where are we right now? Where are we mentally? So I sort of try and internalize what all the characters are thinking at that point in time, since you have all of these previous interactions. And then once Father Gabriel comes into the mix, he's just, we know how he's going to sound, but then what's their reaction going to be to him? You know, what is their how are they interpreting what he's saying? You know, sometimes I try and think like maybe 3 steps ahead of my own character, which I don't know if that's counterproductive or not. But I try and sort of throw myself into where the characters are currently, and then I use that to sort of, I guess, gauge my own performance, you know, because then I'm like, okay, so I have a way of how to approach everybody with how I'm talking to them. But I always try and figure out where the characters are right before they have their encounter with him.
4 different methods from 4 different voice actors. Man, I love that. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting a same. And then that was the end of that one. Like, okay, cool. Everybody has a different approach, which if you guys know anything about actors, like stage actors or film actors, they do the same thing. Sitting down and talking to one actor, you're not going to get the same. This is what I do to prep for my character. Some actors don't even read the script. They walk in and read it like 10 minutes before they do their lines. Like, what the hell, man? Like, and then nail the role. Like, how the hell did you do that? You don't even know like the context. I don't get it. But, you know, like for me, listening to all you guys for as long as I've listened to you, I haven't heard your Gabriel yet, but I've definitely heard your Dwight on the Walking Bread. I'm very familiar with Michonne. I'm very familiar with Andrea, Irish Glenn. I'm familiar with all this. Like, it is my Walking Dead content.
Yes.
Like when
I'm not gonna lie,
I didn't care
Irish
about
Glenn's kind of growing on
I didn't
me.
care about anything. I was like, Callan's my Walking Dead content.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, definitely growing on me. When I go back and play the Telltale games, I do love how Glenn sounds, of course, and Steve Yeun is an incredible actor.
Oh, brilliant.
But when I go back and play The Walking Dead and I play like season 1, when I see Glenn, I'm like, a part of me is kind of hearing Callan now. I'm hearing more Irish Glenn. I'm like, damn, now he kind of needs an Irish accent. I'm like,
yeah,
it's not right to me anymore.
It's perfect. You can't go back once you've heard Irish Glenn, man.
Yeah. If you look at the Volume 1 movie, the black and white version now, look at the comment section. It's just all about, why is Glenn Irish? Why is Glenn Irish? Why is there a lot of Irish people here? What's going on?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh my god!
In the middle,
I should make merchandise or something out of it, like, you know, just Irish Glenn T-shirts or something.
I will buy one. Give me one.
Hey, you need to do that. I would totally wear. I'd actually have it on right now.
Everybody just buys one and wears it on the next live stream.
And just get the picture with his head all smashed, you know, with his hand twitching, and then in the bubble say Irish Glenn.
Yeah,
I'd wear that. That's awful, but I'd wear that.
Oh my god, brilliant! And that was completely like by mistake. Like, I mean, like, I was looking for somebody to play Glenn, but no one auditioned, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'll give it a go myself. Tried to do the American accent, and I was terrible, absolutely terrible. So I was like, all right, he's Irish now, let's go. No, Irish, Korean, American.
I mean, it's, you know, I think it's beautiful. It's a certain flavor, you know, that you're not going to get anywhere else. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It's unique. It's unique. We got some questions, guys. Questions for the voice actor from Mr. Robert Buckley. What do you guys get out of Callan's approach to direction?
Oh God.
Can I take a jab at that question?
Yeah, go on.
Go ahead.
Yes. Yeah. So I get a really like a lot clearer picture of how to approach my character with Callan's direction. I was struggling a couple weeks ago with how to approach a particular monologue for Father Gabriel, and I had no idea exactly how I was going to deliver it. But then Callan kind of gave me a really good picture of how, you know, okay, he's got all of these conflicting feelings that, you know, he's coming to grips with the fact that, you know, he has to look at his spiritual beliefs differently. He's encountering all of these new people. He realizes how, you know, how savagery a lot of these people are. and he's sort of just trying to convince himself that he can still make it through this with his faith intact. And I had never like fully considered like fully incorporating that into my performance here and now with how he was delivering this particular monologue. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like, this monologue isn't just about convincing all of the people in this church, it's about him convincing himself. And I had no idea to like fully incorporate that. I was just gonna go straight like full preaching, be like brothers and sisters, we doing this and all this beautiful stuff, like because he's supposed to be like this super encouraging priest, but it's like no, it's like his view of the world is like super compromised, and now he has to like sort of build himself back up, and it's like no, he's going to say this and deliver this differently now. So when I had finally like gotten that response from Callan about how to approach it, I was like, oh wow, I had never thought about doing that. So no, like I get a really clear picture about how my character is supposed to act. So yeah.
Anybody else want to take that?
Yeah, actually, for me it was the taking the 3 takes. Because before that, I was just like one take and done. That was actually how I recorded my first Dwight lines when I started doing this. And I found myself doing 3 takes of everything afterwards. Like, yeah. Not just simply because you do it, but just simply because the variety of different things you can try. You can pick the right line. You can pick, if you didn't really like it the way you recorded it the first time, just go through it and pick a different line. I literally applied it to all of my other projects going forward after Carl too. And I just like, I kind of just rolled with that when I did that. It never even occurred to me to do it before too. And I just, yeah. That was what I took from you, man. That was good.
Anybody else for Callan's approach to direction?
So I like that. Oh, I'm sorry.
No. I was going to say I already said something about it earlier, so I don't need to. But you feel free, please go ahead. I did not mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, Callan, he tends to give you a good background to a scene. Like when I first started playing Michonne, because I wasn't too familiar with the comic book Michonne, he told me about the big scene, and I believe it was 34. And 33
is it?
33?
Oh yeah.
It was one of them. My memory has not been great as of late, but that big scene and kind of where she's coming from and kind of the trauma that she's suffering and how. So, like for instance, for the audition, he gave me like the background for that scene, and I did a line from that scene specifically, and I honestly didn't know that she suffered so much at the time because they watered down the TV show, and to kind of get that information and to kind of in a way he held my hand through it, and it helped a lot. it did help a lot, and he also he would always also come back and like review the scene with me, saying, hey, how do you feel about this? I'm if we need to tone it down, if this is a good direction, and it's way more collaborative, which I appreciate.
Agreed.
Thank you. I mean, like most of the time, all of you, like, I wouldn't even have to, send you direction, like, because you would just do a fucking brilliant job at it already, like, It's just sometimes with very specific scenes, that's when I would get a very, specific, like, more in detail about it, like,
I call them audio visions, Callan, which doesn't make any sense at all. It makes you sound like a crazy person when you're like, I need you to understand my audio vision. And people are like, what? Do you even understand what you just said? But it's you hear it in your head as a director or a person in that position. You hear it delivered in a certain way, and this person is capable of doing that, but they're just not hitting the right fluctuations, And that's where the 3 take thing, Alex, comes in, where you can try 3 different takes, 3 different fluctuations, try one straightforward, one a little emotional. Now I'm going to try one sarcastic. You know, like, what's this character like? What are they going to respond like? And that's where I think feeding off the other actor, which I have never had a chance to do. I've always wanted to do a live read or a table read. Maybe do it for the Discord, do it for members, something like that. I think it'd be a blast. But, you know, everybody knows hurting voice actors is like hurting cats.
Yeah.
That are trying to hurt other cats. You know, like, everybody's so busy and they have their schedules are just so packed. It's like trying to get everybody in the same room I think it's a big ask. And to sit down for 3 or 4 hours and everybody read through their characters and people are going to be laughing and messing up their lines, you know, it's going to be like, it's a pretty long process. I just think it'd be a good learning experience for anybody that maybe hasn't had a chance to do that. And so maybe that's something we could all talk about, you know, as a community, because I think we're all part of a big community now. We could all discuss that back and forth and, you know, through shared communities and see what people think about just picking some random thing and practice. You know, we get together once every couple of weeks live on Discord and read through lines and get some practice, because Callan, you're really good at direction. I feel I'm afraid of hurting people's feelings. I'm a pretty sensitive guy, so I approach people that way. So I usually find very constructive, positive things to say and never really give them negatives. You get what I mean? Like, hey, that was really good. It's just not quite there. You know, like, could you? But usually everybody I work with, especially the people that have come from your community, your cast, everybody just nails it. Like, I haven't had to really say anything. Like, I send the panels and then I'm like, hey, look, in this position, they're kind of irritated, you know, like they've been through a lot. Their tone isn't going to be great, but they're trying, you know, they're trying. And that's usually all I got to do. And everybody's nailed everything so far. So I don't know, man. Maybe I'm considering myself lucky, and I'm just now getting to where you've probably felt for a long time of meeting these people that you couldn't do it without these people. There's no going back now. Like, there's no going back to me just reading this shit and doing it by myself anymore. There's no going back. No. So it's like, just keep expanding on the community and keep welcoming new people, and know that everybody's going to start interacting with each other. You know, people are going to start working for you. People are going to start working for me. People are going to start working for the Russian. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, which is, you know, if they can get a couple roles with the Russian, that's going to help them a lot. A lot of people are going to see that. That's going to push him out. He's really good about sharing stuff like that. Yeah. So it's just a big community. So I'm glad that everybody that made it here was able to make it. And hopefully we'll get some people popping in. There was no time limit. You know, people can come and go. If you guys got to go, let us know. And if you have any links that you want to share, any channels or anything like that, throw them in the private chat and I'll grab them and put them in the chat for people to click. We do.
Can I say something quickly about directing?
Yeah.
I think Colin's a great director. There's occasionally times when I haven't hit the emotional arc that he would like, and only because when I read it, that Andrea had a different motivation. So once Colin, he comes at it from this is how I see her motivation, and he's the captain of the ship, and absolutely I'll do it that way, right? Which is great. But I want to say, if you're not giving direction because you want to be too nice as an actor, that's kind of great, I guess, in one way. But we also want to know we can do what we can, but we also want to know what your vision is and bring that to life. Like, that's kind of why we want to do what we want to do. So if we're not hitting the mark, please tell us. Please tell me, because Ron's always, I'm really sorry. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm the only Canadian here. I'm the only one who's allowed to be sorry all the time. And I'm like, don't apologize, just because my job is to bring your vision to life as best I can. So that's my thought on that. That if you have constructive criticism or something you want different as a director, if you're sharing it in a kind way, it will be received in a kind way. That's how I look at it.
Well said.
Spot on.
Thank you. That's some good tips. Thank you. Thank you.
I remember a time with Callan for the Weird Walking Dead speech. I mentioned this to you before, Jeremy, that with the speech, he did it the first time, and I was completely happy with it. I was like, oh, this is brilliant. I can't wait to release this. It's going to be class. And a couple of months later, I think it was a couple of months, yeah, he messaged me going like, here, I've been, looking over this scene a lot and how I did it. And to be honest, I don't think that that's how Rick should be in this scene. And I asked him, what do you mean? Like, is it the tone or whatever? And he was like, it's just like, Rick is not supposed to be motivational or badass in this scene. He's supposed to sound like kind of a maniac, Yeah. Like, he's telling himself, he's telling everyone, but he's mostly telling himself, that they have to be savage, that they have to be ruthless in order to survive, basically. And, like, kind of Rick should sound like he's full on tweaking, like, think of him like if he's fucking twitching like half the time as well. Like,
he's in shock at the shit that he's coming out of his mouth. Like, he can't believe that he has to say the things that he's saying. You know what I mean? Like that.
Especially with his background of being a police officer, like, that would really hit him, like, knowing what he's saying and trying to believe it. And even Callan, like, I read the whole lot of the comics, I think like 2 or 3 times. But whatchamacallit, it was Callan that showed me, Rick said he was wrong at the end, that we are not the Walking Dead, and he, the character arc is there, like, and really when Callan told me that and he showed me what it should be, I was completely on board and I was delighted with it, and it's 10 times better than what was done before. I mean, like, not to blow smoke up our version's arse, whatchamacallit, I think our version is better than the show when it comes to that speech.
Of
The
course.
version's better than the show. End of sentence. Like, just end the sentence there. It's better than the show.
Yeah, because like about around season 5 is when they did it. It's like completely different. Like, just.
And then how it ended as well with, not Rick being the one to say we aren't the Walking Dead. It's just like,
I know.
Don't work. Yeah.
We got a lot of questions, guys, and you guys seem to be doing really good with these. So let's keep getting some questions. Next one is Adam, and he's saying vague question, and I'm assuming it's to all you guys. What made you all decide this is what I want to do?
Who should? Oh, right. Should I start? Is that?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Oh, which way? This is confusing.
I'm confused.
All the way. There you go.
Okay. Well, if no one else will, I guess I'll be the sacrificial lamb.
There you go.
Okay. Well, I did have a background in acting. I did stage productions. I did some community theater. I did it in high school. I shot a couple of films down in the Pittsburgh area. A couple when I was in high school and college. Lately, I've been trying to get back into my short films again. I've written a few scripts. I'm trying to do that, and I think what made me decide I wanted to do this was just simply because I just always enjoyed it. I always had a positive experience acting, and it's honestly what motivated me to audition for The Walking Dead. It's what motivated me to audition for Carl, and I just I'd gone a long streak without doing it, and it just made me realize how much I missed doing it. And that was honestly what motivated me to audition for this, just to find a cast, find a community, just to be able to inhabit a character again, and just had to do it, you know? Yeah.
That's good enough for me.
Yeah.
I mean, the short film thing got my interest. I have an interest in that sort of thing myself. I had to walk away from it to keep my mental health and sanity together. But yeah,
I know when you pull together a film, like it really takes everything. Like you gotta like devote yourself to it when you're directing a short film. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about that.
Okay.
I'm interested to hear what you got working on for sure. If you're interested in sharing, I'm interested in listening.
I'm willing to talk. Yeah, we can talk later. Yeah.
What about you, Stacey?
So what made me decide this is what I want to do? Well, this isn't what I do full time at all, nor am I pursuing voice acting or as a way to make money. This is my hobby, something I do for fun. But similar in that I also have a background in acting, and this was a challenge I hadn't done. And I stumbled across Walking Bread way, way, way back at the beginning. And it was just Alex and Scott reading, and I somehow found one of them, and reached out and said, I think you need a woman reading something. And the rest is history. And then that's where Colin and I connected, and Colin asked me to do Andrea for him, and yeah, that's how I got doing this. It's great.
I'm trying to remember when you actually joined, because I remember when you did come onto it, and I was like, yes, a woman on the show.
I did the
I
same
wasn't
thing.
very good at the start, but at least it was a woman.
The solid year of me doing all the voices myself, and then finally I got a girl to read for a girl. I was livid. I was like, you're getting every role. Can you do different voices? Every role. It was actually bad because I still had to do like a lot of the other ones, but still it was, I know what that's like, man. As soon as she came on board, it changed everything. And now I'm having trouble deciding, which is always a good problem to have at this point. You know, like, who would be the best Mary Jane Watson? I don't even know. Then it's throw it up in the air. Like, who wants it? And then just watch everybody read a line.
You can always reach out to Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah. Exactly.
Or Zendaya. I'm sure they're on your paywall.
So a little bit kind of like Stacey. This isn't like something that I do for a living. I do have a job that's very demanding, unfortunately. But kind of like the reason why I did acting in college. So I went to college for criminology, and then I did an acting class because I just, I wanted to reminisce about my high school years. And I was like, I got to add this. So I added it as a major. And so then kind of the same thing. I'm like working, and then I was like, man, I would love to, keep exercising this muscle. And so I hopped on casting call. I did a few of the kind of, auditions for, amateur stuff. And I started getting roles, which was really cool. And then Callan reached out to me, and it was great. I always really wanted to play Michonne. I auditioned for a few Michonnes. In the casting call club, and I was really excited to actually get this one because I saw your stuff and I was like, oh no, this guy's kind of legit. So I was like, I'm down, hit me up.
And you're perfect as Michonne. I couldn't hear anybody else really, to be honest.
Now, no, not at all. Now, like, no. I don't know if you changed anybody, I'd actually be upset. I'd be like, oh no, please don't. Like, these are my people. Like, these are my characters. Everybody.
Go get the original Carl actor again.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
I mean, three people played Carl. It was Wyatt first. I filled in for volume 4, and now you're taking over for the entire lot, which is perfect. You're 10 times better than fucking myself anyway. By God, Irish Carl, like, you know. Oh, God.
Cool. Yep. Yeah.
Oh, that got me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That got me giggling.
Yeah, baby Carl.
Baby Carl.
2 cents. Come on, man. What got you wanting to do this? Because
oh man,
out of everybody, you're the one that's trying and wanting to do this like full time. You want this to be your thing.
I really do. It's hilarious. First off, I feel extremely underqualified. Everybody else here is like I went to school for this. I did acting. I did all this stuff. I'm like, I've been on stage. I'm like, I didn't do a thing. A lot of it kind of goes back to when I was in middle school and high school. I was addicted to video games as a kid. But one of the things I was also addicted to was looking up the casts of games and shows that I watched and played. And sometimes I would always get an idea. I'm like, wait, why do I recognize that voice? I'm like, oh, wait, he plays this guy and this guy and this guy and this guy. And she plays her and her and her. I'm like when I discovered who Tara Strong was, like 15 years ago. Like when I discovered who Tara Strong was, I was like, what the heck? This woman has been in everything. When I discovered who Phil Lamar was, I'm like, this guy's been in everything. Like, what the heck is this? So a lot of it really goes back to when I was a kid, and I always just loved like cartoons, animation, video games. And at some point in time, I kind of came to the realization that like once I was in college, I'd really come to the realization that I want to be someone's favorite cartoon character. I want to be in someone's favorite anime. I want to be someone's favorite video game character, because this stuff brings me so much enjoyment. It brings me so much happiness. And like, I think I'm an okay actor. So
really good.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I want to be able to do this for other people. I want to be one of those voice actors that's like going to cons and people are coming up to me and saying, dude, you played this character and I love this character so much. So it's always been a dream of mine to entertain, but like wanting to do voice acting is really something that I guess it kind of just clicked, and I found myself super invested in it. And when I went on casting call and I saw a lot of the projects that I could audition for, I was super nervous, but then I was like, no, this is something that I can see happening. Like I would grab all of my equipment when I was on my college campus, go to the practice music rooms at the music center on my college, at the college I went to, and I would use it as a voice booth. So,
Nice.
you know, I've always wanted to do this for a while, and I guess I kind of just needed the boost and motivation, and I got it.
Well, I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
I mean, he's made a huge difference on my channel. I don't know if you guys know, but he's Miles Morales in the Aliens versus Avengers, and he's owning it. Like, and I'm like, now I'm kind of like, well, I mean, dude, you'd be a good Spider-Man too. I mean, you just change the way you talk just a little bit, make it a little bit of a different voice, and you can own the Spider-Man. So we're already kind of moving forward with several stuff. Like, I wish I had more influence. Like, I wish I had, people that come on and voice act for me. I wish I had a bigger audience to push them to and get them more work. But you know how that is, like I do what I can, but man, he's nailing some really important roles for me in the future. And not to mention, I'm pretty sure when I read the whole Aliens versus Avengers thing, I think he's the only one that ends up living through the whole thing. So it's kind of like he'll end up being the last character that survives in the whole story. But ever since he came on board, that changed that whole project. Like, I was just like, oh, well, now I got to do mine better. So I went back and recorded my old Tony like better, because I was like, I sound like an old man from an old 80s cartoon. I can do better than that. So these guys, hearing everybody on your cast, watching your videos, then listening to all the new people, it just challenges me to want to do better. Like, I got to keep up with these guys. But when I get somebody good, I don't want to be the weakest link, So now I got to step my game up, which is a challenge to be better and match the people I'm reading with. To me, it's fun. I never thought that I'd be getting into anything like this. COVID is what got me into this. Like all 3 of my jobs got shut down. I was at home. I was already running a channel, but I wasn't doing audio comics. I was just kind of doing music and just whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And it just hit me one day. I found out Marvel was doing new Alien stuff, and I'm an Aliens nerd. So I went, okay, I'll just read that to myself. When I go back to work at Amazon, I'll listen to it. And I went to go delete the channel. I did a few of them. I was like, I'm just going to delete the channel. I'm done trying, you know, whatever, remove all the videos. And when I went down, the first Aliens had like, I don't know, 1,200 views on it with a ton of comments like, when's the next one coming out? And I immediately went, tomorrow. And I just sat down and like recorded as fast as I could and got it out. That's what started it. I never thought that I'd be trying to voice act in the future. I never thought that I'd be putting the effort in to match the cast that I have. You know, now it's like, okay, my sound effects need to be better because the cast sounds great. You know, this stuff just getting by ain't doing it, you know, anymore. Now everybody that's coming on board is making everything better. I have to step my game up too, which Callan's in the same position. I know he's always growing. He's always evolving, always learning new methods to get better and do things a little bit more artistically. Yeah. It's a growing process and we all grow together. So the better you guys do, the better it's going to make me want to do. You know what I mean? And in turn, we're going to just keep passing that back and forth. And I kind of hope somebody stumbles across one of our channels and sees you guys and contacts you for something, you know, like, hey, we're looking for this, or hopefully on Casting Call. I've been leaving people reviews. I don't know if it's doing anything, but I try. You know, if you work with me and you did good, I'll go to your page and leave a review for you. Hopefully somebody finds you guys, because I feel like I don't know. You guys are diamonds in the rough, man. You're buried in a sea of other people doing this stuff, but we got lucky and found you. You know what I mean? And now you're working with us and making our stuff better. And I kind of hope that helps you guys in the future. At least from my standpoint. What do you think about that, Callan? Where are you coming from on that?
Oh, I'm the exact same. I mean, like, if someone, you know, gets in contact with, you know, either one of you or all of you, I'd be fucking delighted with myself. But like, I mean, my dream, right, is for Kirkman to get on to us and go like, here, all of you get on board and make you know, the official one, you know.
Oh man.
That would be awesome.
I know he's talking about that too, and I'm just like, oh, that's exciting. Just
I mean, like,
doing in the style of the issue one that they released promoting the too, just like actually animated and everything. Just
slightly. I like the comic book delivery, guys. I mean, I don't know, Callan, I agree with you too. The art speaks for itself. We don't have to do anything. We're just cutting panels out. The art speaks for itself. And I feel like too much animation, if you made it a cartoon, would, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, some movement and I'm good with, you know, that.
I think I know what you're saying on that. I think
like the flavor.
With that first volume, the way it's drawn does kind of lend to that. I don't know if maybe when it gets into the more serious drawings after that, maybe it might be a bit more in line with the series. But it's just
like even I've seen some people like on TikTok and YouTube who would get like the panels and they would like have little hints of movement, like a bit of hair moving because of the wind or whatever, stuff like that. If I knew how to do that, I would do it for the series, you know. But like, there's like a fine line when it comes to, you know, what should be done and what shouldn't be done. You don't want to do too much, you know, in terms of movement, because like what Jeremy said, the art speaks for itself, like. But then you also do want to have a kind of cinematic experience for the audience, you know, because like some people aren't gonna, you know, lock in, you know, watch images basically, you know, that sort of thing. You know, I mean, nowadays people just get bored, you know, and you know, kind of have to balance it out, like, you know.
Maybe like, with the funding Bob Kirkman could provide, then you could have your subtle animations and everybody can kind of be happy there.
Yeah.
I wish this was 6-7 years ago. I wish this was the time when I was going to Comic Cons and saw the guy several fucking times, man. I would have done name drops, like you need to check out this channel. But I mean, that's like a long time ago stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like being a Kentucky boy, I kind of got some roots with the comic and roots with where it was created, and there was Walking Dead Fest and all that stuff. And yes, people would literally dress up as zombies and walk around in Kentucky heat. It was awful, but they did it. We're proud, like what else does Kentucky have? We got tobacco, bourbon, and The Walking Dead, dude. That's well, we got other stuff, but we don't want to talk about that on a live stream. That's how you get demonetized.
Yeah.
Well, I got a trailer. I've been sitting on this trailer. I didn't know that I was supposed to watch it. I still didn't.
Oh no, you didn't have to. I wanted to just wanted to make sure it actually worked. The link itself.
I know, and then it was too late. By then I was like, oh, I didn't realize it was a quality control.
I remember.
I wanted to be.
I think I remember the trailer because I think we talked about it when you were discussing it. Like, yeah,
I'm play with my screen. That is not how I do that.
No.
I'm trying to figure it out. I guess that'll work. We don't really need to be on the screen, do we, guys?
I'm fine with that.
All right. Either way, I've been waiting for this. So this is the new trailer for The Calm Before, Volume 7.
Ooh.
Woo, woo, woo.
If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and I have a faith that can move mountains, but have not love, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor and surrender my body to the flames, but have not love, I gain nothing. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It is not rude, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil. It rejoices with truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres.
Dun dun dun. No.
Literally made me jump when
So
you did that.
good.
Thank you very much.
That's a good trailer. Like, really,
That was
wow.
amazing.
Like,
Wow.
I loved it.
That was so good.
Thank you. And with Ben's voiceover as Herschel, oh my god, it really made the trailer. To be honest.
Wow. All right. I'm gonna DM
Yeah.
you about the music because I have a theory. I'm good with this sort of thing, and I want to see if I'm right. So
All right,
I'll DM you about that just because we'll keep those trade secrets.
Perfect.
Those trade secrets. You know what I'm saying? I don't share everything I find. Sometimes I'll put it in there and tell people what it is. Other times I'm like, You know how long it took me to dig for that? I ain't telling you.
Yeah.
I'm from the background of DJ shit. We don't tell you where we get our samples. Like, find it yourself. Nah.
Yeah.
That's like half a step of RoboCop taking a step.
Right.
That's what that was, you know. But
Yeah.
when I mute, you know, when I put it in Free Loops and mess with it and get it to sound like something else, nobody would know what the hell that is. Other times I blatantly steal the Ghostbusters proton pack sound and put it in there on purpose and wait for people to call it out in the premiere. As soon as I see it, somebody's like, "Is that the Ghostbusters?" I'm like, yup.
Yeah.
It just wanted to put it in there just cause. I don't know. That there's no place for that in The Walking Dead. You know, you don't when they go to turn on a stereo and you have the Ghostbusters backpack turn on, that's like what the
Just
fuck,
kills
dude?
the mood straight away.
But in a comic book, you can throw that shit in there, like turning on some power plant or something. Or like, oh shit, oh, that's the Ghostbusters. Yeah. All right, dude, that was amazing. Like, I love
Thank
your
you.
trailers, dude. I love the trailers.
Mm.
I wish I'd have watched it before. Hey, it worked.
Yeah, it worked. Thank God. Jesus.
Well, thanks, guys. I think we should work on wrapping up a little bit, and it'll take a little bit since there's so many people here. So let's start with Callan. Let us know what you got coming up, and let me see if I can grab your link real quick
Perfect.
to your channel, and I'll share it while you're talking.
Well, whatchamacallit, if you look at the channel, I'll have the Volume 6 black and white movie coming out tomorrow, I believe. Yeah, tomorrow, but technically today for me anyway. But whatchamacallit, that'll be coming out tomorrow at around the same time, 11 p.m. GMT. So that'll probably be what, like 6 or 7 free, or 6 or 5 free.
Okay.
In the evening. Yeah.
Cool.
And the following Saturdays, I think it's like 4 or 5 weeks, I'll have a few deluxe editions coming out. And hopefully after Volume 5 of the deluxe edition is fully out, I'll have Volume 7 of the black and white series ready to be out, you know, be released. Because I've already got 2 out of 6 edited so far.
Damn.
I've got 8 minutes of issue 39 done. And I'm really looking forward to that one, because those who know, some huge stuff happens in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's performed beautifully by all of you. So, you know, I'm very excited. Very excited. And 2 cents, this would be your first credit in the series as a few zombies. And Stacey, you kill them actually in one of them.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Do you take zombie noise donations?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I completely forgot. You know, it's crazy. Callan, you are incredible, because you completely reminded me that I was playing a zombie. Yeah. I did some voices for the zombies, and yes, I do get killed
by Stacey. Yeah. Oh my god. Brilliant.
Stacey, you got any news for us? Anything you want to tell us about before we head out?
No, just keep on keeping on and working, you know, getting lines recorded and sent in. I think that tends to be like the biggest struggle I notice for both Colin and all of you that do that. Hey, can you get me this line or this line, or you haven't done this? We need this.
In my case too, it's like, sorry, we missed one.
Yeah. Oh, I get that. I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I've got going on.
Morgan, let me grab that link. What do you got? What do you got coming up that you want to tell anybody about?
Yeah, I got a few things. If you want to see more of like me, you can check out Mercury Theater Podcast. That's when I first started doing voice acting, and you can check out some of my episodes. I believe I'm not exactly sure what they're called, but I could probably bring them up later here if I could look it up. But also I am on another kind of YouTube channel called Grasso Guys. He does stop motion animation. but specifically with Legos, and he does a lot of the DC comics. So I'm in Flash, and I'm in his Spider-Man as well. But yeah, I mean, I'm still here. I'm gonna be working on the Walking Dead, and I'll let you know if you wanna just follow me. You can check out my Instagram. It's gonna be Sin on Life, like on my little screen here. And if you want to DM me about things, then go ahead. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
Okay, I'm glad you showed up. Alex.
Sorry, subscribing. My bad. Hold up. Okay. Okay. Actually, I got quite a few things. Actually, well, I'm a regular working singer, guitarist, songwriter, musician. The reason why I am not able to join a lot of premieres is because I usually have gigs on Saturdays. So I'm gearing up for a 2-month stretch in May and June, starting at the end of May and lasting until after the 4th of July. So
Nice.
Getting ready for that. And all of that while I'm also releasing a new single. I'm currently getting it mastered at the moment. It should be ready about any day now, and then after that, a month later, it'll be coming out, and I'll be putting out some more music and growing my Spotify.
Cool, man.
Very good.
Share that stuff with us when you get links.
Oh, I will be.
available.
I will be making sure as soon as it comes out. I will be sharing everything I got when it comes out. So
perfect.
Cool, man.
Sick.
Cool. 2 cents.
So as far as voice acting goes, I am still currently working on my voice lines for Father Gabriel, as well as I'm definitely anticipating working on the Spider-Man comic books, because I'm really excited to see where I can take the character. I also dressed for the occasion, so I'm looking forward to doing those projects. And on my channel, I posted a link. I haven't done enough of these yet, but I'm doing a lot of redub stuff. So I love making these videos. So I plan on doing a whole lot more of them, as well as some shorts. So you kind of see me doing them while I'm like recording. So I have the camera on me so people can see me recording the lines. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to take up too much time. I am also working on my Walking Dead game theory videos for my What If series, which I never thought would really like take off. So I'm currently working on spoiler alert for people who haven't played the game. I'm currently working on What If Carly Survived part 3. Nice. So I'm gonna put together the rest of the script for that, and then I'm gonna put together a trailer for once the video is done. Cool. So yeah, be expecting that soon.
Cool. All right, everybody. Everybody's links are all in there. There's everybody's YouTubes. I grabbed the podcast link. I'm gonna be subscribing to everybody. There'll be posts too. There'll be everybody's links if you guys want to share them elsewhere, Instagram, stuff like that. Give them to me. I'll throw them in the description for anybody that comes back and views later. Everybody who showed up today, thank you. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it. It's been a blast talking with you guys about this stuff. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
And we'll do it again. You know, we'll get a different variety of casts and do it on a different day so the people that couldn't make it can try to pop in. We do these once a month, and anybody's more than welcome. And again, welcome to the bigger community. I hope for the future that we'll be seeing a lot more of each other. To anybody in the chat, thank you. I appreciate it. And you guys have a wonderful evening till the next one.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.